okay, fresh, don't know anything about it. It's not as easy as it was. Honestly, it's going to be more challenging. And as we've been talking about, the sophistication of the business is much higher today than it was even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. And so is it a good time to get into storage? Yeah, sure, absolutely. But you got to treat it as a business. You have to invest in the right tools and information. You have to understand the nuances. Do your research just like any other business, right? You have to understand the supply, the demand, the consumer base, the metrics, just like if you were opening any other company. You know, again, the idea of the covered land play with storage is fading. You can still do it. There's still opportunity to do that. But the costs of development and everything else are much higher. Can you get in? Yes. Any business, right? You can get into, storage or apartments or industrial properties, whatever. But the thing is that you have to really understand it. Now, is it a good time to buy or sell, storage? It's kind of a different question. I think there's price sensitivity. There's an expectation gap. The prices that people want to sell for relative to what people want to buy for, and getting that math and the underwriting to work is still very challenging. But I do see a lot of capital pointed this direction. I was in New York and Boston. I was meeting with some major institutional investors. And, they were saying, hey, give me a state of the market. I sat down, we had a meeting. I talked about apartment, retail, office, industrial. And they go, well, yeah, that's all great. But what about storage, right? These are major institutions, multi-trillion-dollar funds. And they're saying, what about storage? How do we get into this? We want to invest in niche property types like storage. And we need to place capital. And the thing with them is they don't place, $5 million or $10 million. They want to place, hundreds of millions of dollars. They want to do it in $20 million deals, or 30, 40, 50. The bigger, the better. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, here's all the fundamentals of storage. Placing that much capital is going to be really hard. And so, but they are out there. They are competing for assets. And so the math gets more complicated when you have a lot more people bidding on the deals. I think the competition for assets is continuing to increase. And, we talk about, for example, deal flow, right? And deal flow for storage peaked in 2021. And it surged. All property types in 2021, the deal flow surged. And since then it's come down. It's down, 40% from where it was in 2021. But unlike most property types, we're still doing more self-storage deals today than we were in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, what I call the historical normal transaction velocity. So if you take the 2014 to 2019 average number of deals per year, what we did in 2024 was still 23% higher than that average. So we're getting good velocity. It has not come down as much as you've seen in a lot of the other property types. And certainly, you look at office, which is just dried up, completely for a while there because no one could get financing. So storage is still active, but again, I think it's just way more sophisticated than it was. There's a lot more capital pursuing this industry. Part of growing up means it becomes a target for, a major investor, investment fund, an institutional fund, and they start competing for those deals. And they have endless buckets of money. They sold off office towers in Manhattan, and they, what do we do with this? Oh, let's go buy storage units. So that's a lot of storage units. So, I think that it's going to be interesting over the next few years.